Hi, welcome to the Gunner's Vault. A lot of people will tell you, don't try this at home. Me, I'm going to tell you, as long as you're legal and not stupid, yeah, try it at home. PPSH-41, Russian military arm. PPSH stands for something I'm not even going to try to pronounce. This thing is cool. This thing is a bullet hose. You hear me mentioning that a lot. This thing is very much so just a flat out bullet hose. Little history on it. The Russians had the PPD originally, and they liked it. It was fun. But they faced the Finnish people in the Winter War, and they had the Suomi. And the Russians were like, oh crap, the Suomi works really good. So they needed something comparable to it. They wanted drum mag, stuff like that. So they went ahead and invented the PPSH. That's another nickname for it, the PPSH-41. It can be fired out of a stick mag or a drum mag. That's pretty cool. It's select fire. Back is semi. See? Forward is full. Just goes all the way. Da 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 da. Pew 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 pew. It's easy to produce. It's all stampings. There's really, the bolt is machined, and maybe a couple other parts, but it's really all just stampings and some wood, because it's made of wood. The cyclic rate on this thing is, I ain't gonna lie, dude, it's about 1,100 rounds a minute. It just gets the rounds out there. That's good and bad. It's good because, you know, you put a lot of lead down range, you can keep heads down with it. It's bad because you go through your ammo really quickly. That's not the best thing on the battlefield. And you know, but the Russian guys they had a lot of untrained farmers and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, Ivan, you farmer, here, take this, shoot that way. And that's what Ivan did. You know, Ivan didn't mess with this. There was a quote somewhere by somebody that said, you give a soldier an 800 round a minute gun, he's going to shoot 800 rounds a minute. That's true with this. You give a peasant farmer a 1,000 round a minute gun, he's going to go out, have some vodka, and shoot 1,000 rounds a minute at the Germans or the Finns or who the hell ever he's shooting at that particular day. This gun was used, like I said, World War II, but it was also used extensively in Korea. It was used in Vietnam, Chinese copies, and probably some original Russian ones as well. And it's actually still in use in some little skirmish conflicts throughout the world. I've actually seen them being confiscated in Afghanistan, so I know they used them there. Bad Taliban. Bad Taliban. I'm coming for you. No, I'm too old for that now. But anyway, it's a simple gun. It's blowback, 7.62 by 25. I forgot to mention that. A little hotter round than a 9mm. I like that particular round. It's really nice. Fun to take apart here. You just do this. Little buffer in the back. You want to know why it's so fast? There's your recoil mechanism. That's it. A little bitty spring. I mean, this is like from, I don't know, man. You could probably use your pin spring, you know, and your little pin. Put that in there and have about the same cyclic rate. That's nuts, man. The bolt, maybe weighs a pound, maybe 2. It's not real heavy. It's machined. It's a fixed firing pin, blowback, open bolt weapon, so you don't expect a lot of variation in that. The inside of it, here's what you got. You got a sear right here. Why don't you go up and down? Chris, you ready? Why don't you go up and down? So, ooh, check that out. And you'll notice something going up and down here. That's pretty much your disconnector. Watch, it goes down in full auto, but watch what happens in semi. It pokes up, you press down on it, aha, your sear pops up. Captures your bolt, semi-automatic. This, of course, is your ejector. ejects straight out the top, loads out the bottom. Funny thing about these, if you're in like a little room, say an indoor firing range or something like that, I don't recommend that because 7.62 by 25 has steel core, mild steel core. But if you are inside an indoor firing range and somebody's firing this thing, you'll hear and then you'll hear ting 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 ting, because it actually empties before the last round will go out the muzzle before the first empty hits the ground. That's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. Okay, so putting it together is a basic matter of doing this. There isn't really a safety per se on it. I don't really like the idea of safeties on sub guns because they're sub guns. What do you want a safety on them for? That takes all the fun out of it. It kind of does like the MP40 and the MP38 and stuff like that. You'll see these little notches right there. Basically, you take this, shove it back, push it in that notch, and your bolt's not going to go forward. That's a safety. It's not a very good safety. It's not something you want to rely on. So your best safety is to have the bolt closed with no ammo in the gun. Ta-da! Alright, now check this out. Loading. This thing, from what I've shot these a lot, and I've tried to load it with this down, but I've never really had any success with it, so I always make sure that's up. There's a little notch. Just pop it in there. There you go. I like the fact that it folds down and gets it out the way. Fold it down, pop it out. This one, same thing. Sometimes they're finicky, and this is a, there you go, look at that. That's imposing, isn't it? It's neat looking. It's really, really neat looking. But anyway, it's a pain to get in and out. I like the stick mags. Drum mags are cool. You got like 71 rounds, I think. But stick mags are just kind of easier to load and less unwieldy. World War II, your basic weapons for the Russian military was this thing, the Mosin in its various forms. SVT-40, which a few of them had, stuff like that. The Germans would capture this. The Germans were fans of capturing machine guns and using them, and they liked this gun a lot. So they'd capture it, and what they actually did was designed a 9mm swap for it. Basically, the barrels on those are easy to change. Push the pin out, go pop, barrel comes out. Put a new barrel in, 9mm, put an adapter in there for your 9mm mag well. It just pops in just like that. And use MP40 mags, and you got a 9mm PPSH-41. Pretty neat. Really, really neat. Another interesting fact, I don't know how true it is, but I've always heard this. These barrels get shot out quick because, they're bullet hoses. So one thing the Russians might have done, like I said, I heard they did, but I don't have any proof of it, is cut down Mosin Nagant barrels and make like 3 of these barrels out of one Mosin Nagant. So that's kind of cool. Really, really neat thing about this. I don't know if it was a failure or it worked or what, but there are pictures of it on the internet. They took about, I don't know, I think it's 50 of these things, mounted them like this in an airplane, and used a little mechanism. I don't know what mechanism, but they'd fly over enemy troops and then, engage the mechanism, and all 50 guns would just and kind of toast the troops on the ground. It was kind of a poor man's A-10, I guess. Like I said, I don't know how effective it was, but I'd hate to be on the receiving end of that, because that would just suck. That would be a bad day. Oh, in case you're wondering, you can put stuff in the buttstock. Russians are fans of that. There's actually quite a big hole in there, a lot bigger than the hole that you can take stuff out of. So that tells me they didn't really think that through all the way. They could have made a bigger, aperture or a smaller hole in the buttstock. That's just me. I'm a perfectionist like that. I'm not a perfectionist. What else? What else? What else? They had a sling. Ooh, see. Sling it over your back like this. It would look something like this. Yeah. Maybe a little lower. Yeah, it would look like that. With a sling. And I'd look really cool with that, but I don't have a sling. So just picture it in your mind. It does have kind of a muzzle brake. Your barrel ends right here, and you got all this mess, this room up here with a flat surface right here. Your gases push against that, basically giving you the effect of a muzzle brake. These things, for being a bullet hose and for actually shooting a pretty solid round, it's pretty zoomy. This thing's really controllable. I mean, you really can write your name with it. It's a lot of fun to shoot. It's just they don't make them like this anymore. It's a shame, but their time came and it went, and a lot of people died because of it, but a lot of people died because of a lot of stuff, so it is what it is. Well, that's the PPSH-41. Let's go shoot it. Okay guys, PPSH-41, Papa Shaw. This is kind of a cool gun. It shoots extremely fast. And you'll notice something. The 7.62x25 ammo is kind of squirrely. Sometimes you get a real hot load, sometimes it's not as hot. And you can actually tell the difference in the cyclic rate of the gun. So let's give it hell and see what we can hear. That was a full mag, and it took all of a second and a half to do it. A couple seconds, something like that. This thing's a lot of fun. It's a bullet hose, which is kind of the problem with it. It shot so fast they wasted a lot of ammo with it. People just, Ivan's out there, oh my god, it's Dieter the German, beep, and it goes through a mag like that. You have to reload, and you only can carry a certain number of mags. Well, yeah, it's a problem. But anyway, you did hear it kind of, that's because one round wasn't quite as hot as the other ones. So that's kind of a cool phenomenon with this. Just wanted y'all to check that out.